Здравствуйте, everyone. We are back with more of Learning Russian. So last time around we finished lesson 25 and then test number 5. We're on to a new quintet of lessons, starting with lesson number 26. Nouns, adjectives, and possessive pronouns, plural in all cases. Just to take a bit of a look forward, we have, in my opinion, 4 relatively random lessons ahead of us. So these 4 lessons don't really seem to, they have names, obviously, which sort of clarify what the lessons are about. But in my opinion, these lessons are kind of not necessarily filler. I wouldn't say they're filler exactly, but they're more like practice. I think these are more like lessons for us to practice what we've learned thus far before we go on to new things. Then here at the bottom you can see lesson 30 is about directions and places, where to, where from, and then we get into movement, which will be very much vastly covered in following lessons. If you look at lessons 31 through 35 here, you can see these are all about verbs of motion. And I think even beyond this, these lessons are all about verbs of motion. So we have something like, and then 41 gets into something else. So we have about 10 lessons still in the future in a row, all on verbs of motion. And so lesson 30 will kind of prepare us for that. But in the meantime, we have 4 lessons, which, like I said, are kind of random. They're not bad. They're just sort of a little bit of a review, maybe kind of a chance for us to practice and exercise some of the things that we've learned up to this point. So let's go ahead and proceed with lesson 26. Я так люблю моих старых друзей. I so much love my old friends. This я так люблю, I so much like. This is actually a formation which you will hear Russians use in English because it's a literal translation of Russian. So if a Russian person really likes something, I have heard Russians say something like, I so much like it. Or if they think something's bad, they'll say, it's so much terrible. So that is a typical sort of Russian formation. Anyway, let's get started. Lesson 26, nouns, adjectives, and dabba-dee-dabba-dee-doo. So in this lesson, you will revise the declension of plural nouns, adjectives, and possessive pronouns in all cases. You will also compare the following constructions. Это мой старый друзья, it's my old friend. Сейчас рядом нет моих старых друзей. So now my old friends are not nearby, and я иду к моим старым друзьям. I go to my old friends, or friend. Я вижу моих старых друзей. I see my old friend. Я иду в кино с моими старыми друзьями. I go into the cinema with my old friends. And я говорю о моих старых друзьях. I speak about my old friends. So you can see these are again basically a repetition of cases. It is my old friend, or friends, that is nominative because the old friends are the subject. It's basically just saying that is the old friends. And then нет моих старых друзей, I believe that's a genitive because it's saying there are not any of them, they're not in the area, they're not nearby. And я иду к моим старым друзьям, that's, what was к? К was dative, if I'm not mistaken. And then я вижу, I see them, я иду в кино с, and then с is instrumental, and then я говорю о, and that's prepositional, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm already starting to forget. I had a bit of a pause. If you haven't noticed, there was a bit of a pause in the lessons, and now I'm starting to forget myself. Let's go ahead and move on. We have exercise 1, or task 1. Woman at a bank talking to a bank teller. Let's go. So we have the client, and the manager, obviously the manager. So let's go.
Здравствуйте. Я хочу положить мои деньги на счет.
Здравствуйте. Вы уже выбрали, на какой срок и с какими процентами?
Нет еще. Помогите мне, пожалуйста.
Пожалуйста. Вот, У нас неплохие проценты на 6 месяцев и на 18 месяцев.
Нет, 18 месяцев – это слишком долго. А в какой валюте эти проценты?
Если вы хотите, можете положить в американских долларах или в евро. Но я вам рекомендую вклад в рублях. Там большие проценты. И мы можем открыть вам кредитные карты бесплатно.
Правда? А на каких условиях?
Когда вы положите деньги на один из наших вкладов, мы подарим вам кредитную карту. Вы можете использовать ее в разных ресторанах, магазинах, салонах. И не только в России, но и еще во многих странах.
А проценты большие?
Первые 6 месяцев мы не берем никаких процентов. И если вы платите вовремя, то с этими процентами проблем не будет.
А могу я заказать 2 кредитные карты, еще и для моего мужа?
Да, конечно, она будет стоить 500 рублей в год.
Хорошо, без проблем. Тогда сейчас я делаю вклад на 6 месяцев в рублях, и вы дарите мне кредитные карты.
Да, только не кредитные карты, а кредитную карту. И еще одну вы делаете для вашего мужа.
Да.
Пожалуйста, ваши документы.
Okay. Pretty straightforward. For once, the dialogue was quite normal and not very, not strange Oh, and sorry, I didn't scroll through it. I was actually looking at my other screen where I have my translation of the dialogue up. So I apologize. I always forget to scroll through these dialogues when they're playing because I'm actually trying to keep up with the translation on the other side. Okay, so we heard the dialogue. It's a pretty normal dialogue. It's a woman talking about opening up an account in a bank, or actually not really opening an account. I guess she already has an account, but she wants to put money in her account, as she says in the first line. So let's go ahead and review this again.
Здравствуйте. Я хочу положить мои деньги на счет.
So, здравствуйте, hello. Я хочу положить, I want to deposit мои деньги на счет, my money into the account. Счет is basically, it's the Russian word for an account, like a bank account. It can also mean, it is occasionally used to mean, because, the word account, the English word account can also mean not only a bank account, but also like a login, like you might have an email account, or on a social networking site like Facebook or whatever, you might have an account there. It can also mean that, but what I typically see Russian people do is, if they're talking about a computer account, like an email account or something like that, they'll typically use the loan word account, A-K-K-A-U-N-T or something like that. And so that's an account in Russian. If you say счет, if you say this word счет in Russian, don't be surprised if they start to assume you mean a bank account. They'll start to think it's about money, not about computer access. That's just what I've noticed. There doesn't appear to be, as far as I know, there's not a natural Russian word that means a computer account. So they'll usually, like I said, they'll often just say account or something like that.
Здравствуйте. Вы уже выбрали?
So, hello, you've already, выбрали, you already chose, or you have already chosen.
Какой срок и с какими процентами?
Okay, hold on. Let's fill in that blank there. С какими процентами? Okay, I think that's this right at the top here. So, the structure here, it says you already chose, but it's actually a question. She's saying, have you already chosen? Have you already chosen? На какой срок? For what period of time? И с какими процентами? Literally like, and with which percent, but in this case, when they're saying percent, they mean interest rate. There's no, as far as I know, there's no Russian word, or at least you can see here, they're not using any particular Russian word for an interest rate in financial terms. They just use the word procent, percent. So when you say, what's the percent on that bank account, it means like what's the interest on it. Interest, of course, in the financial sense, in the sense of money that accrues over time based on a certain rate.
Нет еще. Помогите мне, пожалуйста.
Okay, нет еще, not yet. Помогите мне, пожалуйста. Tell me, please. Or help me out, please.
Пожалуйста. Вот, у нас неплохие проценты на 6 месяцев и на 18 месяцев.
Okay, so she said something about шесть. Yeah, here we go. Шесть месяцев. So let's go ahead and put that in there. So she says пожалуйста, which is kind of like here пожалуйста means please, but here it's sort of a response meaning something like certainly, be glad to. Вот, у нас неплохие проценты. So here we have not bad percents, not bad interest rates. На 6 месяцев on 6 months. И на 18 месяцев, so for 6 months and 18 months.
Нет, 18 месяцев – это слишком долго. А в какой валюте эти проценты?
No, 18 months это слишком долго, it's too long. А в какой валюте эти проценты? And in which currency is the percent is the interest? What currency is the interest in?
Если вы хотите, можете положить в американских долларах или в евро.
Okay. Американских долларах. So, если вы хотите, if you want, можете положить, we can, or you can deposit, yeah, because положить is deposit, like in the sense of depositing money. So, yeah, you can deposit in американских долларах или в евро. You can deposit in American dollars or in euro.
Но я вам рекомендую вклад в рублях.
Но я вам рекомендую вклад в рублях. But I recommend to you вклад. What is вклад? I don't know what вклад exactly translates as, but something like I recommend that you do it in rubles.
Там большие проценты.
There are bigger, the interest is bigger with rubles.
И мы можем открыть вам кредитные карты бесплатно.
Okay, and we can, hold on, she said something about a credit card, so let's find the кредитные карты here. There we go. So, и мы можем, and we can, открыть вам кредитные карты. We can open you a credit card, бесплатно, free of charge.
Правда? А на каких условиях?
Правда? Really? А на каких условиях? And on what условиях is like terms and conditions. What are the terms of the agreement or the contract with the bank in that case?
Когда вы положите деньги на один из наших вкладов, мы подарим вам кредитную карту.
Okay. So, когда вы положите деньги, if you deposit money на один из наших вкладов, in one of our deposits, like what is vklad? I'd like to know because this word is appearing twice now. Hold on, let me just quickly check. What do I get if I translate vklad? Because I don't think this means account because счет is account. So what exactly is vklad in this context? Can I get a better translation of that? Oh, that's a deposit. That is a deposit in a in the noun sense. So I guess okay. Looks like положить is deposit in terms of a verb. I deposit money into my account. So deposit in that sense is положить. But what you deposit, the thing that you deposit then is vklad. That's the noun referring to the money that you deposit into your bank account. Okay. So if you deposit money in one of our deposits, we will give you a credit card. Вы можете, so you can использовать is like to use. You can use ее because credit card is feminine, so you can use her. В разных ресторанах, магазинах, салонах. You can use the card in various restaurants, shops, and salons.
Вы можете
Oh.
использовать ее в разных ресторанах, магазинах, салонах.
There we go. Sorry, I got ahead of her. So that's what she said. Yeah, you can use it in various restaurants, shops, and salons.
И не только в России, но и еще во многих странах.
Okay, so многих странах. I wonder what these многих странах are. So she says, and not only in Russia, but in other, but also in many countries. But she doesn't say which countries. Maybe the CIS countries, like Ukraine and Georgia and Belarus and Kazakhstan, those other countries, those ex-Soviet countries, maybe. I don't know. But she doesn't say which countries. It doesn't really matter.
А проценты большие?
А проценты большие, and are the percentages big? Are the interest rates high?
Первые 6 месяцев мы не берем никаких процентов. И если вы платите вовремя, то с этими процентами проблем не будет.
Okay, let's see now. So, первые 6 месяцев мы не берем. So, in the first 6 months, мы не берем. What did she say? Right, никаких процентов. So in the first 6 months, we do not take no percent. We take no interest. And wait, did I play your line to the end after that?
А могу?
Oh, sorry, I did. Okay. Если вы платите, если вы платите вовремя, and if you pay on time, вовремя means on time, because время is time, so вовремя means in time, то с этими, with those процентами, то с этими процентами, with those interest rates, проблем не будет. There will not be any problem.
Могу я заказать 2 кредитные карты, еще и для моего мужа?
So now she says, а могу я, and can I, заказать 2 кредитные карты? Can I order 2 credit cards? Еще и для моего мужа. Still, and, literally still and for my husband. So like another one for my husband.
Да, конечно. Она будет стоить 500 рублей в год.
Okay. Да, конечно, yes, of course. Она будет стоить, she will cost 500 рублей в год. 500 rubles per year. 500 rubles per year is quite cheap, actually. That's like about $10.
Хорошо, без проблем. Тогда сейчас я делаю вклад на 6 месяцев в рублях, и вы дарите мне кредитные карты.
Да.
Okay, so what did she say? Хорошо, без проблем. Okay, no problem. Тогда сейчас я делаю вклад. So, in that case, now I do a deposit and then she said 6 months. На 6 месяцев, for 6 months, в рублях, in rubles, и вы дарите мне кредитные карты, and you order me a credit card, or you give me the credit cards.
Только не кредитные карты, а кредитную карту. И еще одну вы делаете для вашего мужа.
Да, да.
Okay, and да только не кредитные карты. So yes, but not credit cards, but rather a credit card, and then still one. and you still have to do one for your husband. So I guess the point is that she has to do it later. So right now, so the manager is saying right now you get not credit cards, but one credit card, and then later you have to do you have to do one for your husband, or your husband has to do one. And then the woman says,
Пожалуйста, ваши документы.
yeah, and the customer says, да, yeah, yeah. And then the manager says, пожалуйста, ваши документы. Please, your documents. Your documents, please. Okay. All right, so that was that. Pretty straightforward. And now we have another dialogue here with less spaces to fill in. But this one might be a bit trickier because now we have to pay attention to the cases. So let's see if we can still keep up with the various cases in Russian.
Как дела, Джон? Как работа?
I'll go ahead and actually, I'll just do this line. I won't play this through all the way through because I think this is, there's not really much to hear here. I think it's just basically them chatting. So I'll just do it line by line. So Irina says, how are you, John? How's work?
Ничего, как обычно.
So John says, nothing, как обычно, as usual, just work as usual.
Ты уже неплохо говоришь по-русски.
Ooh, so I guess John is not a common Russian name, so he's a foreigner in Russia. Irina says, you already not bad speak Russian. You already speak Russian not badly.
Ты так думаешь?
Ты так думаешь? You think so?
Ну, я вижу твой прогресс.
Ну, я вижу твой прогресс. Well, I see your progress.
Конечно, я учу русский, но я много не понимаю.
Of course, I учу русский, I learn Russian, но я много не понимаю, but there is much I don't understand. But I much not understand.
Что ты не понимаешь?
What do you not understand?
У тебя есть хорошие друзья?
У тебя есть хорошие друзья, I guess. Kind of changing the subject a little bit there, but he says, у тебя есть хорошие друзья? Do you have good friends?
Ну, хороших друзей у меня немного.
Okay. Хороших друзей? Хороших друзей у меня немного. I have a few good friends, or good friends, I have a few.
Ага. А ты часто думаешь о твоих друзьях?
He says, aha, but actually this is, as far as I know, this is usually pronounced aga. It is actually a Russification of aha in English, but Russians usually say aga and not aha. It's one of those situations where the H sound is converted into a G in Russian, and there are actually several such words that do that. Anyway, so he says, aha, or aga. Ты часто думаешь о твоих друзьях, I believe is correct here. Instrumental, no, not instrumental, sorry, prepositional case, right? Because o is prepositional if I'm not mistaken. So, ты часто думаешь о твоих друзьях. And, so часто is often, думаешь is think, it's the ты conjugation of think, so you often think about your friends?
Иногда думаю, но я вижу их часто.
Иногда думаю, so sometimes I think, но я вижу их часто, but I see them often.
А ты часто говоришь с твоими друзьями по телефону?
It's kind of suddenly asking a bunch of personal questions there, sir. So с твоими, it's с твоими друзьями по телефону. So, and do you often speak with your friends by telephone?
Каждый день. А что?
Каждый день. А что? Every day. And so what? She's saying like, what about it?
А ты ходишь к твоим друзьям в гости?
А ты ходишь к твоим друзьям, right? Yeah. К твоим друзьям в гости. And do you go to your friends at home? Like, do you go to visit them at their residences?
Конечно, и они ходят ко мне. Я понимаю, почему ты спрашиваешь.
А ты можешь жить
Okay, of course, and they also go to me. So, like, they also visit me at my place. Я понимаю, почему ты, so I understand why you ask. It's good that she understands why he's asking, because I don't understand why he's asking.
без твоих друзей?
Джон, я все поняла. Ты сейчас повторял грамматику?
Откуда ты знаешь? Как ты догадалась?
Когда я была студенткой, я работала репетитором английского языка. Я знаю эти методы.
Took a bit of a meta turn there at the end. So, okay, hold on. So he says, а ты можешь жить без твоих друзей? And that was the last fill in the blank. We got everything correct. So he says, and you can live without your friends? John, я все понял. John, I have understood everything. Ты сейчас повторял грамматику. Did you just now review grammar? Откуда ты знаешь? From where, literally like from where you know. So, I mean, in English you'd say, how do you know that? But he says, from where you know, like where did you learn that? Как ты догадалась? How did you guess that? Когда я была студенткой, when I was a student, я работала репетитором английского языка. I worked as a repeater, like as a tutor of the English language. Я знаю эти методы. I know these methods. So for some reason I think that's the reason why he started asking these questions, because he's trying to practice his Russian grammar, and so he's going through the different cases. Notice that he used several different cases here, so he started thinking, or he started asking, У тебя есть друзья, which I believe is genitive, and then he says, о твоих друзьях, which is prepositional because it's о, and then с, which is instrumental, and then к, which I believe is dative, and then без is, so once again, what's без then? That's, Is that genitive? I don't know. I always forget, man. I forget the cases already. We went through so many reviews of the cases, and now I keep forgetting which prepositions lead to which forms, or denote which cases. But anyway, you can look it up if you're curious. Oh, actually, here probably we see a bit of a review. Perhaps this will help. So yeah, so we start off with dative. So here you can see there's мой and there's твой. So мой, he starts off saying, я иду к моим старым друзьям. And yes, к is indeed dative. Okay, good. So we got that right. Я вижу моих старых друзей. I see my old friends. That is accusative because the friends are the direct object of the noun. Я с моими старыми друзьями иду в кино. I, with my old friends, go into the cinema. Instrumental because с is instrumental. And yes, о is prepositional. So, я думаю о моих старых друзьях. I think about my old friends. And nominative, это мои старые друзья. This is, or these are my old friends. And then finally, сейчас нет моих старых друзей. So, now, he doesn't say I don't have my old friends, but just my old friends are not, like they're not, literally not my old friends, but he means they're not here. And he even puts a little sad face at the end with an equal sign and a opening parenthesis to indicate that he's sad. So that's that. And then here we have твой. Я так рада твоим новым журналам. very interesting because there's not really a verb in this sentence, unless rada is actually the verb. But is she actually saying rada in the sense, is that actually a verb here? I don't think so. I think that's actually, let me just quickly check here. I think that rada here is actually I think that is actually, yeah, it's not a verb, but an adjective. She's saying, I'm very glad about your new journal. So there's actually really no verb in this sentence. She just says, I'm very glad your new journal. And, well, in English, the verb would be am. In English, the verb would be I am very glad. But in Russian, you don't say I am very glad. You just say я так рада. I'm so happy. So the journal is kind of... Journal's kind of it's in the dative, I guess, because it's the indirect recipient of the verb, because there is no verb. There's no verb that, I mean, she doesn't say I read the journal, or I see the journal, or I open the journal, or I write in the journal, or I buy the journal. The journal is sort of the object of her gladness, but she uses no verb on the journal, and so the journal indirectly becomes the target of her gladness, and so that's why it's in dative. That's kind of a tricky... That's a tricky one for native English speakers to grasp, I think, because English doesn't usually have sentences like that with non-existent verbs. Okay, this one should be a little easier. Я вижу твои новые журналы. So simply, I see your new journal. So in this case, the journal is the direct object of the verb. She sees the journal, and so it's accusative. That's pretty straightforward. Instrumental, я интересуюсь твоими новыми журналами. Yeah, so instrumental, it's not really clear here how it becomes instrumental, because there's no triggering preposition. It's not, if it's with s, then obviously that's instrumental, but there's no triggering preposition here. You just have to understand that in Russian, when somebody says I'm interested in something, then that's instrumental. So I interest your new journal, and that becomes instrumental. That's also kind of tricky if you're not used to that sort of sentence construction. Я говорю о твоих новых журналах. And that's pretty straightforward. Then that's, we've seen that many times. О is prepositional. And then это твои новые журналы. It is your new journal. So that's nominative. And then finally, genitive. У тебя нет новых журналов. Do you not have your new journal? And because it's нет, it's genitive. You don't have your new journal. So, okay. With this information now under our belts, we are here to fill in these blanks. And it says here, remember, we are practicing plural. So what we actually want then is neither of these, actually, because, well, actually... Oh, you know what? I think I didn't realize the whole time these were actually plural. Right, this is plural nouns and adjectives. I'm sorry. All of these are actually not journal, but journals, plural. So these are all her talking about his journals, not his journal, but rather his journals. And same here, this guy is talking about his friends, not his friend, but his friends. Okay, so this is actually important to understand. This is about plurals and not singular. Gosh, I'm probably being more confusing than helpful at this point, but okay. So here we have a big table. I don't think, do we really need to memorize all of this right now? I somehow don't think so. I think that a lot of this is not vitally important at this point in time. At least I hope not, because I got to be honest, I'm not going to sit here and memorize all of this right now. I don't think that you have to either. Let's try to practice some basic forms, and hopefully it'll come to us with time. So let's see now. Это наши любимые цветы. It is our favorite colors. Oh no, flowers, sorry. I always mix up the words for color and flower. Цветы is, it's flowers here. Okay. Okay. Ты знаешь something, нов студент. So, do you know the new students? Remember, this is plural, so ты знаешь should be accusative, right? Because it's a directly applying verb. You know the new students. So let's take a look here. Let's go and look at accusative here. So the adjective here, as you can see, is ich or ich. So this should then be новых, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, right? Novlich is the adjective, and then the noun, as you can see, ends in, let's see, here it ends in ye, but that's not always the case. I think here we've got something different. Can we see accusative? What happens here? Oh wait, this is feminine. Yeah, we don't want feminine. We want plural, right? This is plural stuff. So for plural, that's not very helpful because it really depends on the word. It seems like, yeah, I mean, this is accusative, I'm pretty sure, but it's not really clear then based on the, yeah, I mean, you kind of have to know the regular plural form, like the nominative plural form, and then based on that. But there are like 5 possibilities here. It can end in ye, it can end in ov, it can end in I, or ye, or ya. So there are 5 possibilities here. It's pretty hard to tell which one it is. You kind of have to know it for each individual word, which is quite difficult, I think. Okay, in this case, for students, it's студентов. So, ты знаешь новых студентов. Где мои часы у тебя? Where is my clock? Do you have it? Нет, у меня нет твой час. So, no, I don't have your clock or your watch. So, this should be genitive because it's saying нет, so I don't have it. It's not with me. So again, this should be ich, right? So tvoi, in this case, it's tvoi. And then, once again, for the noun, it can either be ye, of, or yiv. Don't really know which. I don't know how you're supposed to know which one it is. I guess again, you have to just know it for each individual word. So for chasa, it's chasov. Actually, that should be clocks, plural, right? Because it says we're practicing plural. So I guess where. Right, so where are my new clocks? Do you have them? And then the response is, no, I don't have your new clocks. Okay. All right, вчера мы видели Маркос, новый коллег в бар. So yesterday we saw Mark with new colleagues in the bar. So s is obviously instrumental, as we know. That should then be me, the adjective should then have me at the end, right? So, oh, but it can be tricky. It could be imi or imi. In this case, it's imi. Where's M? There we go. Don't know how you're supposed to know that. You just kind of have to know. For novi, it's novimi. And then kulig is, so it looks like it could be yami, or it could be something else. Let's see, what are the possibilities here? So for instrumental, yes, it could be yami or ami. So it's either yami or ami. Which one is it? It's kuligami, according to my notes here. Again, I think you just have to know that. Что ты думаешь о его больше planet? So what do you think about his big plans? So o is prepositional, so it should be ich or ich. Yeah, so those are two possibilities. It's either ich or ich. It's больших. Okay, больших. У его больших план, and then again the noun becomes yeah, so either yach or ach. For plan, it is planach. Okay. Planach. С такими серьезным something, проблем something, ты должен идти к психиатру. So, with such serious problems, you should go to psychiatrist. Okay, somebody has serious problems and somebody's recommending that they go to a psychiatrist because of them. So s is once again instrumental, and so with instrumental it should be imi or imi. Let's see, which one is it here? Serioznymi, like that. And then problems could be either problemyami or problemami. Which one is it here? It appears to be problemami. Okay. Hopefully maybe that person developed their serious problems as a result of having to remember all these Russian endings. Кто видел его something document? So, who saw his important documents? Они были на столе. They were on the table. Okay, so, once again, accusative, because the documents are the direct... I mean, you see something, that's accusative, so accusative is going to be ich, lie, or ie for the adjective. Which one is it here? Важнее документы. Yeah. So many possibilities. I don't really know. I really don't know how you're supposed to know it. You just kind of have to know for each word. So, важные документы. В России много красивых девушек. So, in Russia, there are many beautiful girls. That is subjective, but probably most people would agree with that. So, this is... Which case is this? This should be... Is it simply nominative? Because it's saying... No, I don't think it is. There are... I think... Probably genitive, right? Because it's saying there exist in Russia. But I'm confused because it does not appear to... Hold on, let me see. What's the story here? Something's not adding up here because... Okay, something doesn't make sense to me here because... Okay, I don't know. I don't know why it is how this is, but apparently for this one it's красивый девушек. Now, that is interesting because I don't even see any ending with yik here in this table. Hold on, let me go all the way to the beginning here and search for yik. Okay, and it doesn't even occur here. The phrase, the sequence yik does not even occur in the entire table. And yet, somehow, we're supposed to know that it's девушек. So once again, great job, Learn Russian. You've got this giant table here which goes on for pages and pages and pages. How many pages is this? If I just press page down, I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So something like 22 pages, let's say around 20 pages of 20 computer screens of text here. And in all this text, there's nowhere that explains when something is девушек, unless, is this, oh, this is searchable text. I was wondering if these are images, then a web browser won't find them. You can't search text in an image, but this is actually searchable text. So if the text existed, it should have found it. So in all of those 20 pages, there's no explanation of this thing that's in an exercise. So once again, if you don't know it, and I certainly didn't know it, and if I didn't have my notes here, I would have probably just given up. I would have said, forget it. I'm never going to figure this out. So don't ask me why it's девушек. Can't explain it. Sorry. Is there at least an ich somewhere here in this whole page? Is there an ich? There is an ich here. So it does look like it's genitive because ich appears here under genitive. Oh, it also appears here under... Actually, it appears under several... Okay, it actually appears under several cases, so it could be... Okay, it could be different cases. I don't know. I think... I don't know. Let's not worry about it too much. Let's just move on. В большой город всегда много стресса. So in big cities... always much stress. I think this means there is always a lot of stress. At first I thought maybe it means everybody always has a lot of stress, but I think it just means there is a lot of stress. So in big cities, that should be dative, right? Because it's a pretty straightforward case of location. It's just reporting the location, saying in the, or no, sorry, accusative. That's right. No. Prepositional. I'm sorry. Yes, prepositional. Prepositional is reporting location of something. I got mixed up with German again. Prepositional is reporting the location of something, the something. So you say the, for example, here, в больших музеях, in big museums. So in the big cities, that's a prepositional thing. So в больших, it's either больших or больших. I'm going to guess it's, wait, which one is it? Oh, it is больших. Okay, so it's больших. Больших город, either городях or городах. Doesn't say which one here, but apparently it is городах. В больших городах всегда много стресса. In big cities there's always a lot of stress. Okay. Через неделю мы пойдем к наш родитель на дачу. So, через неделю, a week from now, or in a week, мы поедем, we go к наш родитель, to our parents на дачу. We go to our parents' dacha, our parents' house in the countryside. So, k is dative, as you can see here. So dative gives us either im or im. Which one is it here? For the possessive pronoun, it's nashim. And then for the noun, it's roditel yam. Okay, almost there. Каждое утро Питер читает свежий газет. So every morning Peter reads свежий газет. Gazette is a newspaper, and свеж, I believe, is like the most current or the latest newspapers. Okay, so this should again be accusative because the newspaper is the direct target of the verb. He's reading the newspaper, so that should be then. So for accusative, it's something here. It's one of these. I give up. I'm not going to even waste time trying to figure out which one it is because it's just a complete guessing game as far as I can tell. So свежие, it's свежие, and then газеты. Okay, and finally, Journal Forbes. Yeah, obviously there is a magazine called Forbes. So, Journal Forbes написал о 100 самых, wrote about the 100 most rich people in the world. So, Forbes magazine wrote about the 100 richest people in the world. And here, богат is богатых, and then люди becomes людях. There we go. Everything is correct, but no one can explain why. I think even most Russian native speakers would have a hard time explaining why. That's just the way it is. You just have to know like I said, for each word, for each adjective and each noun, you kind of just have to know how the words mutate and change forms or transform depending on the case. Okay, let's see. Is this going to be any easier? Somehow I doubt it, but let's give it a try. So, у something родителей много денег. Now, this is about possessive pronouns. So, it's not, here it says я, but it's not у меня. It doesn't mean I have. It means my parents have. У my родители. So at my parents is a lot of money. My parents have a lot of money. So what's the let's see, here's possessive pronouns. Can we decode it using this table here? Hold on. So 2-1 is declensive nouns and adjectives plural. What's 2-2? Okay, 2-2 is feminine. Looks like, yeah, it's feminine singular. Don't need to worry about that. And here's plural again. So hold on. What's the difference between plural here and plural here? And here's also, so hold on. Part 3 is personal pronouns, but then in contrast to that, Part 4 is personal pronouns, because personal pronouns is different from personal pronouns. And just in case you didn't get enough personal pronouns, oh, this is possessive pronouns. I see, okay. So personal pronouns is me, you, he, she. Possessive pronouns is my, your, his, her. Okay. Gosh. Okay, let's see if we can decode this based on that table then. So my parents, so genitive, it looks like mojevo, right? But then in contrast to that, down here we have moich. So is it moich or is it mojevo? Actually, this is not plural. I'm just realizing, just looking at this, it says here plural, declension of nouns and adjectives plural, but this is not actually plural. This is all singular stuff. Mój kot, my cat, not cats. Moje okno, my window, not windows. So despite the title is actually false because this is not plural. This is singular, and then this is, yeah. So this is actually, the site is actually wrong. This is not plural. This is, right, this is masculine and feminine stuff. The word plural here is a lie. The plural is a lie. This is masculine and neuter nouns here in this table, 2.1. And then 2.2 is feminine, as the title says. And then 2.3 is plural. Okay, so I got thrown off because the title of the table lied to us. This is actually the plural table. The first table is about masculine and neuter nouns. So here you can see for possessive pronouns plural, my parents in the genitive case, it's moich. So I'll go ahead and copy that here and I'll paste that in here. It's u moich roditelei mnogo денег. My parents have a lot of money. Okay, s my, so s is the instrumental case, and then for my, where's my here? My is third from the right. So it should be nashimi. Let me go ahead and copy and paste nashimi. I believe that is correct. S нашими друзьями очень весело. With our friends, very fun. It's a lot of fun with our friends. Okay, без and ты. So без is genitive, isn't it? Looks like без is genitive, and then ты is up here, so it should be твоих. Без твоих советов мне трудно жить. So without your counsel, Soviet is like counsel or advice, which is why it was called the Soviet Union, because it was the union based on the advice of the Central Planning Board. It was so we associate the word Soviet in English with the Soviet Union, but the word Soviet in Russian actually literally means advice or counsel. So without your counsel, мне трудно жить. Life would be hard for me. It would be hard for me to live without your advice. Я не хочу идти к... Okay, so k is dative, and then on, so what do we have? On is the third column, dative, его. Should be его, right? Я не хочу идти к его коллегам на вечеринку. I do not want to go with his colleagues to the вечеринку, to the evening party. Где она... Okay, so where are her documents? And I think the documents are just nominative here because they are the subject. They're not doing anything or nobody's doing anything to them. It's just saying where are the documents. So I think that should be nominative, right? Let's check nominative. Она, so it should be just ее. Где ее документы? That is correct, isn't it? Yeah, that is correct. Где ее документы? Они были рядом с... okay. Они были... They were рядом с... okay, so с is instrumental, and that's я, so left column is я, and then for instrumental, it's моими. Моими. Они были рядом с моими документами. They were next to my documents, is what that says. Okay. Кто был они? So v is, I think this, yeah, this means not going into, but already in. So this should once again be prepositional. Prepositional for они. Они is the rightmost column here. So prepositional on the rightmost column is ich. Ich. Ich will. Okay. Кто был в их старых зданиях? Who was in there? Okay, so ich is there, старых, old, zdanyak, buildings. Who was in their old buildings? Okay. Without much context, the question seems a bit strange, but yeah, I guess if you're talking about some buildings, you might say, well, yeah, who was in their old buildings? Okay. Что? Okay, so s is instrumental, and v is the second rightmost column here, and s is instrumental, so we want to say вашими. Вашими. Что с вашими глазами? Вы не спали? What with your eyes? I think it's like, what's with your eyes? Вы не спали? You did not sleep. So I guess maybe the person's eyes are red or bloodshot, and so somebody's saying, what's wrong with your eyes? Didn't you sleep? Не могу открыть дверь. I cannot open door. Всегда проблемы с ключами. Okay, always problems with my keys. So instrumental, я is моими. So всегда проблемы с моими ключами. Always problems with my keys. Ну, коллега, что вы думаете о перспективах? So O is prepositional with мы. So prepositional мы is наших. Наших, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's correct. Ну, коллега, что вы думаете? Well, colleague, what do you think о наших перспективах? What do you think about our perspectives? Okay. And finally, я вчера звонил on. So звонил is I called. So I'm going to, I think it's just accusative. I called his parents, so that should be accusative, right? I think so. Yeah, it's just его. Его. There we go. That's correct. Я вчера звонил его родителям. I yesterday called his parents. Okay. Fair enough. Moving on. And now we don't have to type any more stuff. Now it's drag and drop, which may be easier, or maybe it's not. Who knows? Let's see. Бывал, so he Bival. What's bival? Hold on, let me just quickly check. What does bival mean? Oh, has been in? I believe that means like, yeah, has been in. Okay, this is a little bit difficult now because we're really getting into prepositions that are used, specific prepositions. And prepositions are actually one of the most difficult things when you're learning a language because they're kind of illogical. You know, like in English we say you're in a country, but you're not literally inside the country. So it doesn't always make a lot of sense. You could say that you're on top of the country because that's probably what you're more like on top of the country than literally inside it. And if you look at something, well, we usually say look at, but it could just as well be look upon or look on something. In fact, I think in Old English, wasn't it more common to say look on this? And today we say look at this. So there's not really any logical reason why you say look at this or look on this or look toward this. Well, you don't say look toward this, but you could just as well say that. It makes just as much sense. So that's why I say prepositions are quite difficult sometimes because there's not necessarily a logical reason why you use specific prepositions. In this case, I believe the preposition that they're looking for is wo. So on bywal wo, he has been in mnogich exotyckich stranach. He has been in many exotic countries. Okay. Она любит читать something красивых домах. Beautiful houses. She likes to... Она любит читать. She likes to read. I guess read about beautiful houses. So then that would be о. Or is, yeah, read about beautiful houses. Okay. Rita не может жить something свежих фруктов. Rita, woman's name, не может жить, she doesn't want to live something свежих фруктов, fresh fruit. So doesn't want to live without. Usually in these lessons when you say somebody doesn't want to live, then the preposition is without. Somebody doesn't want to live without fresh fruit. In which case the Soviet Union might have been a bad time for her because I think there was usually not much fresh fruit in the Soviet Union, unfortunately. Okay, moving on. Наших родителей новая машина. Okay. Our parents' new car. I'm going to assume that means our parents have a new car. So the preposition there is simply у. Sorry, let me drag it over here. У наших родителей новая машина. Our parents have, or at our parents' new car. Our parents have a new car. Завтра вечером я иду something моим друзьями в гости. So yes. Tomorrow morning I go, and then in these cases, the preposition that you usually use is к. You go to your friend's place. К моим друзьям в гости. I go to my friends as a guest. And you're starting to see this is kind of a fixed phrase in Russian. Иду к someone в гости. Go to someone's house as a guest in Russian. That's a fixed phrase in Russian. Кто встречался something нашими партнерами? Кто встречался, who met something нашими партнерами? Our partners, I'm going to assume met with. As in English, you say you meet with someone. So who met with new partners? Nastya, which is a common Russian shortening for the name Anastasia. Nastya listened to это something ее новых знакомых. Listen to it, I guess, from, or she heard it from. She heard it from, so от is from. Настя слышала это от ее новых знакомых. She heard it from her new acquaintances. Okay, and by process of elimination, the last one then has to be кроме. And yes, that is correct, obviously, judging by the green check mark. Zach, again, I think Zach is the guy's name, like Zach in English. Zach любит все. Zach loves everything, кроме соленых помидоров. So кроме is except for. Zach loves everything except salty tomatoes. Okay. Interesting exclusion there. Zach loves everything except salty tomatoes. Okay. All right. And finally here we just have some illustrations here, and we want to match the phrases to the illustrations. So let's go ahead and go through these. First, let's read through the text and hope that we can understand the text, or I hope that I can understand the text, and then we'll put them in the right places. So, Виктор идет с красивыми девушками в кино. So, Victor goes with beautiful girls into the cinema. Виктор работает с важными документами всю ночь. Victor works with important documents all night. Вероника мечтает о дальних путешествиях. Victoria, sorry, not Victoria, Veronica dreams about дальних, I think that's long, путешествия, long travels or long journeys. So that's probably this one. The first picture here that we're seeing here is a woman, or looks like, well, I guess it could be a guy with lipstick and long hair, but let's assume that's supposed to be a woman. So a woman dreaming about long journeys. I'm going to guess that must be her then. She is thinking about a plane landing on an island that is clearly too small for such a plane to land on. Okay. What do we have left? Veronica рада французским духам. Once again, somebody is glad because of something, and then the noun suddenly becomes dative case. Veronica rada. Veronica is glad because of французским духам. Французский is French, and духам, I think in this case, what does it mean? I think it's like, I'm not quite sure if I'm interpreting this correctly, because the interpretation, the translation, when I translate duham, I get ghost or spirit or even genie or something like that. But the picture here appears to be a perfume bottle, and yet I think that's the... Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else here that... I think that's this one here. It looks like unless there's a genie inside the lamp. Is that a lamp with a genie inside? I don't think so. It looks to me like a perfume bottle. But I don't think duham means perfume. I don't know. I think that's the right one, though. I think that's this. I think it's just that... Okay, I don't know what the picture was supposed to be about. And I'm not quite sure... I think I must be misunderstanding a word. Does it mean spirits as in alcohol? Like, because obviously spirit can also mean a strong alcohol, but that didn't look like alcohol. That looks like a perfume bottle to me. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that was the right one. Anyway, this one says, у Вероники нет хороших подруг. Veronica does not have a good... good friend, or she doesn't have good friends, which I guess is probably this picture here because it looks she's thinking about a group of people and then somebody off to the left is kind of excluded. So I guess Veronica is a bit sad or a bit spiteful because she doesn't have good friends. So I'm going to assume that that's this. Okay, moving on. Anatoly. Anatoly рисует авангардные картины. Anatoly draws or paints avant-garde. This is like avant-garde. You know, in French, there was that avant-garde art movement, which was basically something like kind of like postmodernism, sort of. I don't know. I'm not an art expert. I can't exactly say what differentiates avant-garde from Dada or postmodernism or deconstructionism or some of those other art movements that were happening in the early 20th century. But I'm going to assume that must be, again, this picture here because you see a guy who is painting, and it's obviously not some kind of classical painting. It's some kind of weird abstract painting. So let's go ahead and say that that's avant-garde and that he's painting avant-garde paintings. Okay, and finally, this here says Sveta делает все для ее детей. So Sveta does everything for her children. So what pictures do we have left? We have the picture that looks like a woman with her children. So that's probably Sveta. I'll go ahead and say that's Sveta with her children. We can change it later if that's wrong. Aha, and then Victor is with two pretty women. I'm going to assume that's the first one then. Victor идет с красивыми девушками в кино. Victor goes with beautiful girls into the cinema. And then this is very obviously a guy working with some documents, doing some paperwork late at night. So Victor работает с важными документами всю ночь. Victor works with important documents all night. And that was the lesson. So I'm not too happy with this lesson because I don't feel like we learned very much. We reviewed some stuff, but the things that we probably really should know mostly didn't get clarified. I mean, this part here at the end is pretty straightforward. Exercise 6 was just like a cool down exercise. Exercise 5 is pretty straightforward. This is the preposition. Yeah, I mean, prepositions are, in this case, they weren't too bad. And then exercise 4 was not bad because we actually got the right answers out of this table. There is at least this table here. The only confusion here was that I thought, do I use this one or the other one? Well, again, this table is wrong. It's not plurals. It's masculine and neuter nouns. And then this is feminine nouns. The actual plurals are down here in table 2.3. So this is where you want to be. But as long as you're using this correct table, then exercise 4 here is not too bad. And then the exercises 1 and 2 are dialogues, which are usually not too bad. So I guess the only really bad one then was this one. I really can't explain why this is the way it is. For each case, for each of the 6 different cases, you have several possibilities. Even if you can correctly identify the case, it's not clear what ending the adjective and what ending the noun has. And then we had that one crazy case where, which one was it? Yeah, this one, девушек, which is an ending that doesn't appear anywhere in the tables accompanying the lesson. So I'm quite unhappy about that. This whole exercise 3 was really just was really kind of a loss in my opinion. Everything else, I guess everything else in this lesson wasn't too bad, but I don't feel like we really learned very much. We mostly just kind of went over the same stuff that we've already gone over countless times in previous lessons. But again, like I said, I guess this is more like a review. We're reviewing some stuff, and we're partially also learning new vocabulary. I mean, there is some new vocabulary here, like this stuff about bank deposits. I mean, you should know положить is to deposit money in a bank, and then what do you deposit? Well, you deposit a vklad. That's your deposit that you put into the bank. So I guess that's for banking and finance. That's good to know because banking and finance is an important part of everyday life in whatever country you live in. And yeah, there are a handful of other words, but most of it is just kind of, like I said, a review. But I guess a review is not bad. I mean, reviews are important as well to kind of make sure that you've got a grasp of the material. So, all right, that was that. This has been lesson 26 of Learn Russian with Learn Russian. Hope that you folks enjoyed. Hope that it made some kind of sense, and I hope that it wasn't too disastrous in spite of my fumbling around a little bit as usual. I will see you folks later on in lesson 27. Until then, thanks for watching, everyone, and пока-пока.